It's Friday, January 28th. I'm Adam Walsh. Welcome to Crosstalk. Today, we are looking for the silver lining, the cup half full, a shot of in the arm of positivity. And I have just the guests to help, people who practice what they preach. And that is, well, you guessed it, positivity. I'd also like to hear from you. When the going gets tough, what's your pep talk to get the tough going? You, but Hall & Oates always puts me in a good mood. When I was thinking about this show today, when I was trying to plan it, I thought, I want to do a show on positivity, about pep talks for tough times, and I was trying to figure out who to invite on the show for an anchor guest and for some other voices. And Newfoundland Morning producer extraordinaire Dave Newell was like, have you talked to the Positive Thinkers Club, Adam? No, Dave, I haven't, but I will. And I did. So Karen Humby, the president of the Positive Thinkers Club NL, is joining us now on the line. Karen, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. All
right. In these times of ours, having and being the president of the Positive Thinkers Club, first of all, can you tell us what the club is all about and I guess how you get into it and why you get into it?
Well, this club has been around in Newfoundland, believe it or not, since 1989.
Wow. So,
yeah, we'll be 33 years old next month. So that's just a testament to the strength of positivity in Newfoundland for sure. And it was started by Dave Rudofsky, who I think is probably going to be joining us sometime today, and John Snow.
Right.
And they basically decided that Newfoundland was a great place to start having a Positive Thinkers group with a breakfast and having speakers and affirmations. And, like I said, it stood the test of time. The normal Positive Thinkers group before pandemic, we would have a delicious breakfast. You'd get to network with some super people, meet up with old friends, meet new friends, and you'd have an affirmation, which I know we're going to talk about as well. And then you would hear a positive speaker. And that is someone that would just deliver a message of positivity to the group. It could be anywhere from someone overcoming adversity and sharing their story, a volunteer story of someone who has, done some really great work in the community and wanted to share with us. We've had, singers, we've had authors, RCMP have come and shared their stories as well. So it's been quite the wide range of guests. So, of course, since the pandemic, we've gone digital, we've gone through Zoom, and we were able to get back to in-person meetings in September for just a few months. But now, of course, we're going back on the Zoom platform. And that has its benefits because now we can invite worldwide speakers as well. So we'll take it as we can.
Nice. Thanks. That's a great start for the explanation. And I will say, we're doing the show on positivity, and you and I were talking about this beforehand, but, there is such a thing as toxic positivity too. And, just to kind of, so we can, to have some nuance to this show, to lay out the fact that we're not talking about being positive all the time, but we are talking about just being able to find positivity in things, especially when you're down. And I'm Adam Walsh. You're listening to Crosstalk. Today's topic is positivity, a pep talk for us who are living through the times that we're living through. How do you find the positive when things are not the best? Give us a call to the show, 722-7111, 1-800-563-8255. Karen Humby, the president of the Positive Thinkers Club for Newfoundland and Labrador, is my guest for today. Karen, what do you do on a Monday if you're not feeling so great, just to cheer yourself up?
Well, I tell you, Dr. Hubbard hit the nail right on the head there. I was actually chair dancing when you were playing Hall & Oates.
Oh, yeah, so was I.
How do you not dance to Hall & Oates? But every day, I pretty much, when we used to go into the office, before I left the office, I'd play a song that made me happy, and there are sometimes in the evenings I'll flip the song on and I'll dance around my kitchen. I know my neighbors have seen me and they probably think I'm a little crazy, but that's okay. It's dancing and we all love it. That always brings my spirits up. Self-talk and the negative self-talk, and I call that stinking thinking, and trying to turn that off and focus on just the good things in your life. And it doesn't have to be huge, giant, big things. It could be, I'm enjoying this amazing cup of tea that I just made, that, you get that cup of tea when you just make it just right.
Oh, yeah.
And be grateful for that. So in the pandemic, we've kind of moved toward a gratitude practice as opposed to, it's difficult. And when we sit there and we wonder, when is this going to be over? And what have I got to be grateful for? What have I got to be positive about? We know eventually this pandemic will end at some point, but rather than look externally for our positive emotions and positive feelings, we actually have to turn it internally and see what's happening on the inside and change our mindset a little bit to look within ourselves and see what's positive about us. And I tell you, there's a lot of positive in people.
Oh yeah. I mean, every morning I wake up, I get up, 6:15, get ready, for just, checking my emails once I get, showered and dressed and all that stuff. But the one thing before I kind of start my day, I make a cup of, Earl Grey tea, and it's this morning weekday ritual, and it's just the best little feeling every morning that I look forward to. It's just this small little thing, but it just makes me feel so good. As I kind of dive into things Monday to Friday. So, yeah.
And taking those moments just to be in that specific mindful moment of thinking about that cup of tea rather than just drinking it, getting on with my day. Okay, I got to get out the door. I got to drive to work. Just taking that moment and recognizing that this is a good thing actually helps those endorphins and starts to calm you and change your mindset. And it doesn't have to be the little things, but it has to be specific things. So you can find gratitude in just about anything.
We've got Dave on the line, and I believe you know Dave. Dave, thanks for coming on the show.
Hi, Adam, and hi, Karen.
How you doing?
Hey, Dave.
Absolutely marvelous. Thank you on this beautiful sunny day.
Oh, it's so great. I'm don't tell my bosses, but I'm going to cut out early today and go for a run in the sun before the sun sets. So
that's perfect. That's exactly what you need to do.
So talk to us about your thoughts on positivity or a pep talk or just trying to, in tough times, feel a little bit better about things.
Of course. Well, just a quick bit of history, very briefly. I know you covered it already with Karen, but back in 1988, a fellow by the name of Brian Tracy came to Newfoundland. You may or may not have heard of him, but he's one of the preeminent positive thinkers in the world. And he came to St. John's, to the Radisson Hotel, the first year I think it was built, and spoke to about 600 Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, and he produced something called the Phoenix Seminar, which is all about personal relationships and affirmations in particular and goal setting. And John Snow and I were the co-founders of the club, and we had our first meeting back in February '89 when it was a snowy hill going up to Signal Hill, and we met at the Battery, and we had about 60 or 70 people out for the very first meeting. Coming to your question about how you can feel good about yourself, one of the ways I do it, and you've already hinted it, if you can have a run or exercise, then as Karen said, when the endorphins flow, that helps you feel better about yourself. It helps your physical body, of course, as well. But mainly, it's a mental approach. One of the exercises that we do at the club every month, and I do personally on a daily basis, is to give ourselves what we call affirmations. And an affirmation is something that makes you feel good about yourself. So you would repeat it 2 or 3 times, like I feel good about me, I'm a no-limit person, I want to help people around me, whatever you feel something that is good for you. And when you do repeat those things to yourself, it tends to put you in a better frame of mind, certainly makes you positive, and it helps you achieve some of your goals. And goal setting, as I mentioned, is something that, if it's something you want in your life that's positive, put a picture up on the fridge and make sure other people see it as well as yourself. And that visualization helps you to, again, reach those positive goals that you need to reach.
I love it. Dave, thanks for calling the show. I really appreciate it.
A pleasure. And I know you've got some others lined up, so we'll enjoy hearing from the others too. Thanks a million, Adam.
Thanks. Have a good weekend.
Take care.
Bye-bye. All right, Karen, any thoughts on Dave?
And as soon as he started talking about how he has to motivate others, but then he also has to keep himself motivated, my first thought was, you can't pour from an empty cup. And I know we've all heard that. And it's true. If you're the person around your friends or your family that is the one they look to for help or for uplifting themselves, or you're the one that folks like to unload upon if they have some troubles or some concerns, you also have to take care of yourself and refill your own positivity vial of energy there as well. And disconnection is so important. You can go down a rabbit hole when you start, going through social media, and sometimes it's good and you see some great stories and you feel really good, and then other times you just find yourself going down a rabbit hole of negative thoughts and negative emotions, and you don't want to be there, but then those things can stick with you. And the awesomeness-based coaching I really love as well. Practicing grace over guilt. If one day you get up and it's a beautiful day and you're like, I want to get up and I want to get out for a walk, or I want to see some friends or get in the sun, and at the end of the day you didn't, don't make yourself feel bad over that. Just tomorrow is a new day, and feel grateful for the new day, and don't beat yourself up over not doing what your day you set out to do in your day. Things are a little different now, and people are so busy that if you start and end your day with that negative thought, it's just going to send you to bed in a quiet, not so positive mood.
I need to do that more, because a lot of times if I like going for runs for just my physical and mental health, but there are days when I don't get out and then I feel bad about not doing it. And I try to remind myself, it's like, hey, it's okay. You can just go for a run tomorrow, buddy. Like, it's not the end of the world.
Exactly. Grace over guilt. And, with affirmations, it's so important that when you do an affirmation that you don't say, I'm going to quit smoking today, because that's something that isn't, it's a great thing to plan to do, but it's something that is not internal to how you're going to feel. It's something that you want to do. So if you want to change that, you're going to say something like, I am going to feel healthier today. And that might be cutting back on, a habit that you have, or it may be just going for a walk to your mailbox and back. It could be, I am grateful for, this sunny day, as opposed to this sunny day is showing up all the dust in my house. I'm going to pretend that all the dust is glitter.
And Karen, I want to, while you're talking about affirmations, we've got Katie Hussey on the line. And so I figure we'll bring her into this chat we're having. Katie, thanks for coming on the show.
Hi, Adam. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. So Karen's talking about affirmations, and she told me that you are super big all about them. So I'll let you two kind of take it off with some more info on just like how affirmations work and some of the ones you use.
Sure, for sure. And I just want to add in that I wasn't always about positive affirmations. Mm-hmm. I actually started getting into positive affirmations when I was introduced to the club 10 years ago. I really didn't know what they were. So just the ability and what the Positive Thinkers is all about, it really opened up my eyes to positive affirmations. And I just started embracing it. It's been 10 years since I've been a member with the club. And they are so good, like in relation to, we're always going to have negative things happening around us. We're always going to experience negative emotions. But with positive affirmations, it's just really, solidifying that there are positive things about ourselves. So for most part, people are conditioned to think negatively. So when you get into positive affirmations, like they might not feel real for you, but with consistency and just, doing your affirmations daily and believing them, you will feel better, especially when you're affirming things in a positive aspect.
So what do you use personally if it's too personal, you don't have to share, but just what's an example of one that you use that kind of helps you through stuff?
Oh, one great example actually is probably relevant today with the pandemic. Now, I've used these affirmations actually with the club, and especially when we were experiencing, March of 2020, when everything was happening, everybody was like, what is this all about? We weren't really sure what was going to happen, what the future was really going to be all about. So I actually like to focus my affirmations on fear and anxiety. So that's just really, knowing that we're going to feel a little bit of fear, especially with all the restrictions and everything that's going on. We're going to feel a little bit of anxiety. But if we kind of like flip that around and put it in the positive aspect, I would say things like, for example, I am safe. Like if you're feeling nervous about going out to the grocery store, I am safe, I'm calm, I'm at peace. I am strong is another example, especially when you're dealing with fear. And another couple would be, I feel grounded in this moment, and then you can go about your day and really just start feeling good about what what you're faced with, basically.
Katie Hussey, thank you for sharing this with us. We've got a couple of callers lined up still, so I just really appreciate thanks for coming on and sharing that, because it's really helpful.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
All right, you too. You're listening to Crosstalk. I'm Adam Walsh. Today we are talking about positivity, a pep talk for us living in these times of ours. And I'm asking you, how do you find the positive when things are not at their best? I want to go back to Karen Humby, president of the Positive Thinkers Club NL, my guest for the day. We've had a couple more voices there, Karen.
Just getting outside, and even if it's just to get outside on your back deck and just breathe some fresh air. That could really, really change your day around. He talked about music, and he mentioned, bringing Celia and Martin on the show in Central, and I had my Google Home switched to the Central channel for the last couple of mornings for some weird algorithm thing, and they had a competition around happy songs.
Oh, yeah.
It was fantastic. Just the songs would come on, and I'd be working and dancing, and it was just great. Music seems to be such a huge motivator here for lifting spirits.
Oh, for Bernice and Martin, and I knew they were doing that because in our afternoon, we have a 2:00 afternoon meeting to talk about what the shows are doing, and a few of the days we would all of us would just say which song makes us feel happy, and for mine it was the song we played at the start of the show by Hall & Oates, so I figured I'd play it today.
Love it. And then of course with Katie in the affirmations, as I told you, she's our affirmations guru. But one thing we always talk about with the affirmations is to say them out loud. Don't just say them in your head, because there's thoughts that are in your head. But when you're actually speaking, you're putting it out there, and you're putting it out to the universe. And then I'd like to think that you're writing it on your soul, or you're writing it on your heart. So, if you're saying that I am safe, I am calm, and if you have to, look in the mirror and just look right in your eyes and just say it. And those few seconds will be able to just change your perspective.
We've got Alex Wee on the line, also a Positive Thinker member, and just a positive thinker all around. Alec, thanks for coming on the show.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me, Adam.
You take a lot of pictures. Is that something that helps you with positivity?
That's one way, because our province is so beautiful, and since COVID started, I've been outdoors 3 or 4 times more than before COVID. And just like this morning, with the beautiful sky, I was down in Kitiviti and up on Signal Hill. The view is amazing, and our province has so much to offer. Even the same place, I can take pictures every day, and the view is so different and something unique. And pictures is one way. The other way is exactly what other people have been saying, outdoors. Even on a bad day, you can drive your car out and have a cup of coffee and watch the waves, watch the wind blowing. It's amazing outdoors. You don't have to stay inside the house and explore outdoors. It's one of the main things that you can keep your mind away from all the negative things.
And so there's that, outdoors, and you're describing some of the beautiful views in this province that you take pictures of. I know that news cycles, anytime, but especially recently, they can be a lot. I find it a lot. I work in news, sometimes it's like, I just need to take a break. How do you kind of take some of those, like if there's a lot of negativity around, what do you look for as well in terms of maybe in television or online? What do you look for to turn things positive or to look for positive things?
Well, there are things that you have to screen through. Of course, there are many things available on social media these days. You have to make sure that the sources are good, and if you think the source is a bit doubtful, just turn away from it and look for something that are more reliable and sources that you think these people are recommended by people that you trust, and go for them. And if you think the news is good for your mental health, good for your physical health, then you dig deeper and find out ways that you can help yourself. If you think the tip is good, you can also spread that news to other people. Like recently, you heard about all the musicians and the music venues not doing so good. And the positive thing is there's a new thing called Mind the Music coming out. And it's a great thing. All the musicians are getting together to help each other and to help mental health. This is during COVID, and positive things are always happening, no matter what, where you are. And things can change around if you have the mindset to do it. just be positive.
Alec, thank you so much for this.
You're welcome having me.
Take care.
I'm out for a good walk, and when I was listening to you guys, I said I must call in.
Oh.
You know, it's a wonderful day if you dress for it.
Can you do me a favor? Can you just breathe in through your nose and just tell me what it smells like?
It smells purer than the purest water you could drink. That's how I look at this. I mean, the air is everything. Breathing fresh air, getting out of the house. I have a wood stove. I've been working a little bit overtime lately because of the cold. But getting out of the house and getting a good fresh air, breathe, as you say, through your nose. By the way, that's an excellent point. I read something on that a couple of years ago. We shouldn't be doing much mouth breathing. We should be doing as much nose breathing as we can, in through the nose, out through the nose. It's so healthy for you. It doesn't put as much pressure on your lungs and your rest of your system. So it's just gorgeous out here, yeah.
Thanks for calling in and just sharing this with us.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah, of course.
Can I add one thing? You know, eating healthy is so important too, because it's all part of our whole makeup. So I'm always cooking some plant-based products, or food. I don't eat the stuff I ate 5 years ago. And it's just amazing how the energy level and your mind, the positiveness in your mind, speaking of positive thinking, and I did make a presentation to the Positive Thinkers Club when Dave Rudofsky, who was on your program a few minutes ago, was the first or second president. I think you call the name of John Snow was the first one. But, you know, that really helps. If anyone can get on their site or stay close to the Positive Thinkers Club, you can't help but be positive.
There you go. Great words. Enjoy the rest of your walk, and thanks as always for calling in.
Thank you. Great show as usual.
All right, buddy. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, what do you think about that, Karen?
Well, funny he mentioned wood smoke. I went for a walk just the other day, and I was in my head a little bit, and the scent of someone's wood stove came across my nose. And this is in the center of town, so I don't know if someone had a wood stove in their house or if there was a fireplace. And I actually stopped in my tracks and just smelled it. And the olfactory memory of being out in the woods at a boil up, I just took that few minutes and it brought me right back to, the present, right back to something to be grateful for, to, increase my endorphins again, and just calmed me right down. I just took that moment to enjoy that scent of wood smoke. And like you said, what does the air smell like? And just filling your lungs with really good air, taking that really good deep breath and letting it go and bringing in the good and just let that bad air out. It's so important.
Over the holidays, I saw my folks in Culls Harbor, and I was going for a couple runs, and snowing, just running over from Culls Harbor towards Traytown on the route to Glovertown, and just the wood smoke in the air, some snow falling. It was magical, and the kind of thing that does the spirit well.
Yep.
We've got someone else on the line, Sheldon Crocker.
Hey, Sheldon.
Hi,
Hello.
Sheldon. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me here.
So, you're also a positive thinker. Tell us a little bit about yourself and then how you stay positive personally.
Well, that's a good question. Thank you for asking me. I'm the past president of the club, actually, and I've been a part of the club now for about 5 years. And I'm also the director of marketing with the club as well. But as for myself and positivity, if it wasn't for the Positive Thinkers Club, where I first started doing my positive thinking, I'd be in the same position that my life was in before. I was considered probably one of the most negative people in the world, and nothing was ever going right. So with the help of the Positive Thinkers Club and the camaraderie of the fellowship there, and all the information that I gathered from everybody and all the closeness of everybody that was there, it just helped me to realize that we can sit in one spot and be negative, or we can sit in one spot and be positive. Even if things don't change with a positive attitude, at least we won't feel stressed or frustrated so much about it as what we would if we were just being negative. So I would have to say, there's an old saying, every cloud has a silver lining.
I was just about to say, you seem like a real silver lining kind of person.
There's always a silver lining. COVID started, I wrote a book. And I wouldn't have been able to do that, I don't think, that if I didn't have the positive mindset because of my association with this wonderful club.
That's great. And, looking into the future of this winter, what are some things that you're going to do just to kind of keep finding that silver lining that help you?
Well, I have to say that positive affirmations that I give to myself every morning, even something so simple as saying, I am powerful, I am love, I am caring. Every morning I wake up in the morning and I look at myself and I say those types of things. And you might think it's silly at first, but after a while, it starts to actually seep in and you actually believe it more than you ever did. And like I say, being positive is the only way to go forward because, yeah, sure, not everything is positive, but to be able to find something, no matter how small it is, positive inside of every negative situation will make even the most stressful situations more bearable. And so just getting in for a walk in nature and listen to the birds sing, even, just look for the footprints in the snow of a rabbit or something along those lines, is get in contact with nature.
Oh, yeah.
Is great for positivity as well.
Sheldon Crocker, thank you.
And thank you.
All right, take care.
All right.
Looking at Twitter, every now and again, you got to take a me day, recharge, unplug, and relax. It's hard to do at times, but it's needed. Karen Humby, thoughts on me days?
Oh, me days are so important. Unplug. And a lot of people talk about, me days, well, it's selfish. You're only looking after yourself. You should be doing service to others. But again, it cycles back to not being able to pour from that empty cup. If you can't recharge yourself or if you can't help yourself, how are you going to help anybody else? And, Tony is spot on with a me day. You have to look after yourself and you have to look after your internal workings, whether that's, as Sean was talking about, with really good eating, with Dane, with exercise, and Allison with, exercise, and our group, Katie and Dave and Sheldon about affirmations. It's all about turning internally and focusing on what you can control, because there's a lot of things these days that are out of our control. But if you can focus on what you can control, then that gives you that power to uplift yourself.
Karen Humby, we're going to go out on a tune today, I think, in just a minute. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you and everyone with the Positive Thinkers Club. Thank you for coming on the show today. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, your inspiration, and your, positivity.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for having us.
All right. Take care of yourself.
You too.
That's it for the show today. I want to thank associate producers Alicia Dix, Nabila Qureshi for their work on the show this week. As well, my show partner every day, associate producer and technician John Pike. I also want to thank you for listening to this show, contributing to this show, all of your tweets, your emails, your calls. They're all appreciated. And, put out the, let me see, it's, you can tweet us as always, CBC Crosstalk. Send us an email, crosstalk@cbc.ca. You can always call that new line of ours and leave a message. We check all of it and I write everyone back. It may not be the direct day after, but I do respond to everything for this show. So 709-576-5260 is that noon line. And hey, we also like suggestions for the show. So if you got an idea, please, I'm all ears. Until Monday, stay safe, take care. I hope the weekend gives you what you need, and I hope you can find the positivity in all of that.